Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Cancer and Capricorn on Thursdays. The deck that I'm using today is called the Mystical Manga Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description. And just as a heads up, if the cards in this deck really like to flip over while I'm shuffling in the deck, I usually don't take them unless they jump out like that. But with that being said, I'm just going to shuffle until we get about 8 cards, and then we can start on your reading. All right, so we're seeing a lot of fire energy here, actually, because I see this 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, the Emperor, and the Temperance. Right, so the Temperance is the card of Sagittarius, and the Emperor is the card of Aries. So, if you guys are dealing with either of those signs, then that can just be like extra confirmation for you guys. And also, the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Wands are cards of wand suit, yeah. So they're fire cards. So I'm seeing a lot of fire element here with you guys. But your overall energy right now is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords talks about new beginnings and clarity. The aces are always great cards to have because they talk about new beginnings, and it's always nice to have sort of that detachment from the previous situation. And I feel like the previous situation wasn't exactly the best for you guys, because I'm seeing this 5 of Pentacles and this 3 of Swords, as well as the Queen of Coins in reverse, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So I really am thinking that you guys aren't exactly in your element right now, because the Queen of Coins is you guys, but the fact that it's in reverse tells me that you guys aren't quite feeling as abundant as you should be. I'm getting that you guys should have like been promoted at work, or you know, should have been more appreciated in work or home or whatever. And now you've sort of been in a situation where you're like forced to feel this way, sort of like things aren't going exactly right. And I definitely see that with this 5 of Pentacles, you were shut out in the cold. So the 5 of Pentacles talks about being left out in the cold. And it really does feel like you felt like you were in a good situation, and then all of a sudden it's like this Knight of Swords came in and gave a very cold, sort of cutting message with this Three of Swords. I see this Three of Swords and I associate it up here with the Knight of Swords because they're adjacent to each other. And looking at this Knight of Swords, it looks like he's staring directly at this woman who's crying. And it's actually really interesting because I'd never looked closely enough to notice where the woman is crying. I'd always thought that she was facing this way towards the Pentacles, but she's actually not. Let me see if I can make this a little bit more clear, but she's actually facing this way. This way. She has her hands here and her face is there. And as a result, she's facing directly to the Knight of Swords, who's facing back at her. So I think that a lot of you, especially for women, feel like you were cut off unfairly or unjustly. And as a result, you have this Temperance who is telling you to find balance within yourself, because your situation with this sort of element here, this almost toxic element for some of you guys, does not define you. For some of you, you might have been like fired from work or something, and unfairly or wrongfully terminated, and that just feels like it's taken a hit with your self-esteem, because it almost feels like you had really long-term plans with this. I'm looking, okay, so I'm looking at this Four of Wands, and usually I don't do this, but like the symbolism is really strong this time around. So the woman here is actually the same woman that's in the Five of Cups, and the man here, he has a different colored hair, but it's almost like he is the same guy in the Knight of Swords. So I really am getting that you guys were trying to see some kind of ascension in work or love or something, but that's what your goal was, and then this Knight of Swords just didn't have anything to do with it. And I'm seeing a lot of this swords imagery, very sharp, very cutting someone off of your life kind of energy, I feel. Someone or something, because I am getting strongly, for some of you it's a job, but I see Emperor here, the Emperor, and the Emperor tells me that you guys right now are in a very strong position. I feel like regardless of what you feel, the way people see you and the way you act and the presence that you give off is that it's no big deal. And you know, regardless of how you feel, I'm proud that you guys are keeping it together, because I feel like you really are. Whatever the situation is, whatever it is that's been bothering you, you know, for some of you it's not love, for some of you it's not work. I feel like it might also be like relationship with your parents almost for some of you guys. But like regardless of what's going on, you guys are really keeping it together. And that's really admirable. And with this Three of Swords, I sort of akin it here, or I sort of attach it to this Queen of Coins, right? So you feel not so abundant right now. Especially since a lot of you guys are very much tied to making money. I feel like that's very important to a lot of Capricorns. I know that's a stereotype, but I feel like with this Three of Wands over here, you guys are really just waiting. I feel like you had a plan B for a while, and now you're just waiting for it to take effect. So it's like no big deal, but you're still obviously stressing out about it. And sort of the last thing that I want to point out is you have the Three of Wands going into the Four of the Major Arcana, and the Three of Swords going into the Four of Wands, right? So you have 3, 4, and then you also have the 3 and then the 4 of Wands. So I'm seeing a lot of ascension for you guys. I'm seeing that there's going to be a lot of progress for you guys. Oh, and then you have the 4 of Wands into the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like a lot of you feel like this was a setback, and it really, I don't think it was. I feel like this is a catalyst for you propelling forward, actually. So all in all, this is a great reading, guys. That was your reading for this time around. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Cancer and Capricorn videos on Thursdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time.